everyone to today's meeting, Wednesday, June 17th. It's 4:02 p.m. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your schedules to meet. I do appreciate it. I'd like to start with roll call. And Larry, let's start with you, and then we can just give a minute or two before somebody else responds for roll call, so we're not talking over each other, guys. Like maybe give like a slow 5 count. But Larry, we'll start with you, and then whoever else is on the line, we'll just have them say their name, okay?
I have a list if that's helpful. I don't mean to cut in, Zach. If you want me to go through it.
Yeah, yep, that's fine.
What's that?
Okay. Larry?
Larry Keeler, Commissioner.
Zach Damon?
Zach Damon, I'm the chairman of the commission.
Tim Hull?
Tim Hull, Commissioner.
Kathleen Mozak-Betts?
Sorry, I had to unmute. Kathleen Mozak-Betts, Commissioner.
Well,
Matthew Solomon?
Matthew Solomon, Commissioner.
Rachel Hawkins?
Are you with us, Rachel? Is she on mute?
Yeah, I see her. She's on mute. I'm going to go ahead. Looks like she's present, though. Kristen Harrison is absent. Deborah Poster. And there's Chris. Doesn't look like she's here. Christiana Allen Pipkin. I just promoted her. Perfect.
All right.
Elizabeth Nelson.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Nelson. I'm City Council Liaison to the Commission.
And Alex Gossage.
Alex Gossage, Commissioner.
And I'm Corey Ferris. I'm serving as staff liaison today for the Commission on Disability Issues.
Awesome. Well, again, welcome everyone, and thank you. Now that we've done roll call, let's move on to the approval of the agenda. And of course, Corey was very, very gracious and able to send that out electronically through email. So if all of you do, I'd like to take a couple of minutes to review the agenda. If anyone does have any corrections or comments about the agenda, you can bring them up at this time.
Excuse me, Zach, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, it's Rachel Hawkins, Commissioner. Sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute, so I am here.
Okay, great. Welcome, Rachel. Thank you. Okay. So now that hopefully we've had a couple of minutes, you guys, to review the agenda, is there a motion this afternoon to approve today's agenda?
I'll move to approve. Larry.
Larry will move to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, could you state your name? Who's second?
That was Kathleen. I apologize. I second.
That's okay. Thank you, Kathleen. So Kathleen makes the other second to approve the agenda. All in favor of approving today's agenda, please say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So next we're going to move on to item 3, which is the approval of the May 20th meeting minutes. And again, that was sent out to us through email. So hopefully all of you guys have had an opportunity to review that. And again, I'd like to take a couple of minutes for us to review the meeting minutes. If there are any corrections, misspellings, or any things that you would like to address about the May 20th meeting minutes, you can do so at this time. Okay. All right. With that, is there a motion to approve the May 20th meeting minutes? from last month. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the May 20th meeting minutes. Is there a second?
I had a question.
Second.
This is Diana.
Oh, Christiana,
Oh.
you have a, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is something that is typically written in the notes, but when Sally Peterson had mentioned that she won't be continuing as co-chair anymore or with the committee, I didn't see that that was reported in this unless I overlooked it. But is that something that would go here? And if so, I mean, I think that we talked about it for long enough where we were talking about how someone would apply to be a new co-chair and things like that, but I didn't see that highlighted.
Exactly. Great point, Christiana. Corey, I think that is something that we should include in the May 20th meeting minutes, considering that that was Sally's last meeting. So it'd be good to have that on record. Do you know, is that something that we're able to put in the meeting minutes at this time?
Oh, yeah, we can certainly do that. Since, especially if we all approve it with that correction done.
Sorry, isn't it here in C, part C?
Yeah, I see it there.
Hold on.
Chair report, Zach Damon.
Oh, yep, okay. Hold on.
Sorry, I missed it.
Yep, there it is, yeah. Yep, S. Peterson is leaving as vice chair May 31st, 2020. Okay.
Yeah, my
Yep.
apologies too. I was speed reading through the minutes here trying to find where that might be or might not
Yep.
be.
So was I, guys. We were all on the same speed train there. So, okay. But thank you. All right. With that, is there anything else? Okay. All right. Well, I would like to make a motion to approve the May 20th meeting minutes. Is there a second?
This is Larry. I'll second it.
All right. Thank you, Larry. Okay. Larry seconds. All in favor of approving the May 20th meeting minutes, please say aye.
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 Great. Awesome. Thank you. So now we can move forward. Next, we're going to move on to presentations. Do we know, Corey, do we have Katie Monkevitz on the line?
We do, yes.
Oh, great. Okay. So next we have Hey, Katie, how are you? We
Good.
have Katie Monkevitz of the Washtenaw Library for the Blind and Physically Disabled. And thank you so much, Katie, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here. Just got a couple of things to talk about today. The big thing is that we've released our plan for reopening the library. It's going to be a phased reopening, so we're going to do it slowly and safely. But some things that you should know right now is that all of our drop boxes are open for your returns, that we will be starting to do contactless pickup by appointment starting June 22nd. So if you have holds that you're waiting for and they're coming ready, we're going to start contacting you and letting you choose where to pick those up and make an appointment to do so. And we will also be starting public computing by appointment in July. And that will be the downtown library only to start. And then once we move further into the phases, we'll open that up more to the branches. If you're interested in the fully detailed plan, you can see it. It's linked right at the top of our homepage at aadl.org. I will also be happy to answer any questions that you have about that. We have still been going strong with our programming on YouTube at aadl.tv. We've got board meetings, story times, crafts, book recommendations, trivia, all sorts of stuff going on there. It's really fun. If you're missing library programs, I highly suggest that you check it out. Something that I just noticed on our website today I want to highlight. So I'm sorry that it wasn't in my notes that I submitted for this meeting, but I think it's important. So I wanted to let you know that we're going to be having a Zoom book discussion about the book So You Want to Talk About Race by Ajuma Aluo. That's going to be on June 23rd at 6 p.m. And the link to that Zoom meeting will be on our website, aadl.org, the day of. So that's how you'll be able to join that Zoom meeting. Okay, so the Washtenaw Library for the Blind and Physically Disabled is still functioning well. Patrons can call us at 734-327-4224 and leave a message. We've got staff who are listening to those messages, placing orders, returning calls if necessary. Patrons can also email us at wlbpd@aadl.org with book orders or if you need help with anything. This still remains a really good time for people to sign up for the Braille and audio reading download service, BARD. It's just to me, just the best way if you're able to have access to tens of thousands of audiobooks. And it's just a really neat service. Patrons can sign up for that at nlsbard.loc.gov or call or email us if they need assistance with that. We can help with the application as well. So I'm going to tell you about some popular titles on BARD right now. Went and looked and saw what folks are downloading. And so I've got three of our most popular titles here. The first one is called Hit List by Stuart Woods. When Stone Barrington finds his name on a hit list, he plans to lie low until the culprit is caught. But when this foe shows no signs of stopping until his deadly objective is realized in full, Stone is left with no choice but to face the problem head on. Then we have Long Range by C.J. Box. When the wife of a prominent local judge is wounded on Wyoming game warden Joe Pickett's turf, signs point to the shot having been taken from an impossible distance. Joe's best friend, Nate Romanikowski, who is adjusting to parenthood, is a suspect. Meanwhile, Joe attempts to decipher a startling grisly attack. And then we have Open Book, a memoir by Jessica Simpson. Memoir of the pop singer and reality TV star. She examines her own life and famous romantic relationships, sharing insights about her own need to please and what it felt like to be thought of as a walking blonde joke. Well, that's the end of my notes. Do you all have any questions for me today?
I have a couple.
The only thing is this.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, you guys. Elizabeth, and then we'll do Larry, okay?
Yeah.
It's a little rude, I guess, but I looked at the website while you were talking because I was curious about the reopening plans relative to the public computers.
Yeah.
Do you know the details of how people would make appointments for that? Because what I've seen of the library, particularly downtown location, is that there are a lot of people who make use of those computers that would not have access to others. So I'm curious about the system for appointment. Do you know any details about that?
So the system hasn't been rolled out yet, so I haven't seen exactly what it's going to look like. But
Okay.
we do know that these people are probably not going to make online appointments, right?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
I think they'll be able to call us. So our call center has been open 12 to 6 Monday through Friday, and we're going to be expanding those hours. So folks can just call the library, and I think we'll be able to sign them up. As far as like the number of people that gather to use the computers, I have heard anecdotally that they're going to be laptops. So we'll be cleaning them between each person's use. At least that's what I've heard so far. It's not going to look like the old downtown computer lab.
Okay. I wonder, so the website says that it was the plan was discussed at the May 18th monthly meeting. Would there be value to me watching that, or do you think that there aren't super big details highlighted there? Because I mean, I'm thinking about all kinds of things, like maybe the person who's coming to the library to use the public computer doesn't even have access to a phone. So do you know what I mean? I'm so that's where my mind is going.
Now that you said that, I think, and I've heard a lot of information recently, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but I do recall hearing about some sort of way to sign up by going there. So
okay, good. That's reassuring.
Some sort of sheet maybe that you could sign up like you used to do for a meeting room. So I do believe that we'll be focusing on multiple ways to get people to be able to sign up.
I appreciate that. I also want to make a comment, and it's a bit of a tangent, but it's related. As City Hall is looking at ways to open up, like we're anticipating just exactly that idea of technological barriers, and we're going to be creating stations in the lobby of City Hall for people who want to observe our Zoom meetings but don't have access to tech. And so we're thinking along those lines for city meetings as well. So yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
And as far as should you watch the board meeting or not, I did. I got some information out of it, but I would say that most of the information that you're looking for that we're ready to talk about in detail yet is on our website.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's reassuring to me that you watched the meeting and you said that they were thinking in those ways. So if they were thinking about that, I trust that they're thinking, yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. And then Larry, you had a additional comment for Katie?
Yeah, my only comment was that BART is still working, but they're a little slower at putting up books for those who use it a lot.
Yeah.
They're just a little bit slower at putting up books, and there's slightly fewer books, but they are still working in general just fine.
Yep. I would agree with that, Larry.
I did want to mention that they're running just a little slow.
It's good to know. Although, our new users aren't going to notice that because there's like tens of thousands of books to look through. So
that's true. But us old guys don't notice it.
I know you're a very heavy user of the system, and so you would notice, of course.
You think?
Awesome. Well,
I have a
is
question.
anything else? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Who was that?
It's Kathleen. I have a comment to Elizabeth and two questions for Katie. Elizabeth, excellent. I was thinking about those very things myself, and I'm so glad that you brought that up. I have two questions for Katie. One, I received an email saying that account requests right now are frozen, that we have to unfreeze them ourselves. So I think the public should be made aware of that. Is that across the board?
Yeah.
And then my other question is, we can request books by appointment for pickup. Can we request other media like records, CDs, that sort of thing? I think I seem to remember that you cannot request equipment at this time. Is that correct?
That's correct. So thank you for bringing that up about the holds being frozen. As part of reopening, we froze everybody's holds because people have left town. People have bought things that they requested from us in the meantime. So we didn't want to gather anything for folks that they didn't want. So we're asking that you look at your holds, unfreeze them, or unfreeze the ones that you want, or people can call us. We've been calling people who don't have email addresses and unfreezing their holds for them over the phone. So if folks don't have access to a computer and they want to unfreeze their holds, we're happy to go through those over the phone. So just give us a call. We can help with that. And then what was the second part?
Can you receive other media like records and things like that, but not equipment, correct?
No art prints, no tools right now, but CDs, records, DVDs, books, all of that you can request and receive with contactless pickup in the lobby.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I guess I got a question to that then, Miss Larry.
Sure.
Can you still get the NLS stuff then, the NLS equipment?
Yeah, that stuff can all be sent via Lansing. So
okay, so you can still get that.
Yep, all that's still available. Yep, thanks for asking.
Okay.
Awesome. Is there anything else for Katie at this time? All right. Well, thank you very much, Katie, for everything, and thank you to all the Ann Arbor District Library staff for all that you're doing. You know, I know I used that computer lab quite a bit back in the day, and you know, I'm definitely glad that you know, you guys are going to be rolling out this plan and you know, giving residents and people in the city an opportunity to stay connected. And I just encourage you guys, and I know you probably are already well aware of this, but I just encourage you guys to constantly wipe down those keyboards and wipe down those
Yeah.
laptops and all that good stuff. So
Yes.
thank you.
For sure. You're welcome. And thank you all for having me.
Cool.
All right. Bye.
All right. So next, I'd like to move on to Alex Gossage, the Executive Director of the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living. Welcome, Alex.
Well, that's interesting.
Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon again. The Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living continues to be open. Our physical office spaces are closed currently to both the public and still to our staff. We're taking a very slow, cautious approach to our reopening. So those information on that will be forthcoming, but just know we're really taking our time. I've told folks if I'm the last organization in the county to open our doors back up, then I would be perfectly comfortable with that, because health and safety is what's most important to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, our staff are still working and are available. You can reach us by phone at 734-971-0277, or you can email our general information email at info@aacil.org. We do have a few different group activities that are going on right now that I'll highlight real quick. We have first is a Parent Connect. It's an online meetup group for parents of children with disabilities. This is meeting every other Thursday from 2:30 to 3:30. Upcoming dates are June 25th, July 9th, and July 23rd. And you can RSVP to Jamie Richardson at jrichardson@aacil.org, or you can give us a call in our Monroe office at 734-682-5271. This program and all of the other group programs that we are offering are being run through Zoom, and we can provide accommodation as needed with captioning and whatnot. In addition, there's Virtual Art Studio, so flex your interest in art while using stuff you have at home. Join us for structured art projects using supplies you already have lying around your home. This is on select Wednesdays from 2 to 3 p.m. The one I had on here today actually happened was June 17th. I know we will be having more upcoming. So you can reach out to Anna Duesbeber at anna@aacil.org. to find out more about upcoming art activities. And then just a couple more things here. We are running a virtual movie club right now, so watch a movie and then chat with folks about it. This is happening at Thursdays at 3 p.m. through September 3rd. This week, the movie they're going to be watching, or the movie that they'll be discussing rather, is GoldenEye. Next week, they will be discussing The Princess and the Frog, and the week of July 2nd, they will be discussing The Secret Life of Pets 2. You can RSVP to Shannon Clark at sclark@aacil.org, or give us a call at our office number. And then last, but I did want to make sure I mentioned, is that we are running a program that is kind of running in parallel with a program called Crip Camp 2020. For those of you who were able to see the documentary Crip Camp on Netflix, there's a whole series that is being run related to disability-related issues. And we are also, so we're participating on those activities on Sunday evenings, but then running an additional opportunity to talk about the Sunday workshops on Tuesdays from 3 p.m. And you can also get more information and RSVP to Anna Duesbeaver at anna@aacil.org. And those are my announcements for today.
Awesome. Wonderful, wonderful stuff, Alex. And I'm curious, really quick, like what kind of stuff do you guys talk about, like with the Crip Camp series? Is it more just social group, or are you talking about like different struggles with employment and getting remote work? Like what kind of different things?
It's, I think it's run a wide variety of different topics. That's
Sure.
I think some upcoming topics were disability and spirituality. There's
Wow.
disability and sex, finding your social media voice. I know they've also done some topics related to the intersectionality between race and disability. So it's been a pretty broad scope.
Awesome. And then I just had a quick question for you, Alex. Sorry, guys, if I hope I'm not cutting anybody off. But as far as the job workshops moving forward, just down the line, are you guys going to be sort of addressing or doing anything with remote jobs or remote work and kind of how to implement that into sort of the new employment sector?
Yeah, actually our team did start to put together a program related to assisting individuals and being able to work from home, as well as the pieces related to applying online, interviewing online, all of those other things that maybe some of it was being done online before, like job applications, but now we're going to be seeing more interviews and things online. So we are going to be doing some of those things. We'll continue to partner with Michigan Rehabilitation Services, but definitely feel free to reach out to Paula Finnegan at our office for more information on the employment programs.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you to you, Alex, and everyone at the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living for the great job that you do. Awesome. Does anyone else have any other questions for Alex? Okay. Moving on. We are going to now just take a second for the public comments portion. Is there anybody that is on the line that would like to do a public comment at this time to speak or to participate in the public comment? You can call 877-853-5247 for audio only, or you can call the 888-788-0099 and enter the meeting ID. Is there anyone that has a public comment at this time? All right. So moving on to old business, we have the city personnel report, and of course, it is not Denise this time, so I do apologize for that. But Corey, is there any updates as of right now with the city personnel?
No updates at this time, no.
Okay. Great. All right. Moving on, we have the chair report. So I will go ahead and give that. First things first, you guys, I've been working to try and investigate and get the crash test numbers for you guys. I was actually trying to look them up to try and find them online before like approaching the city and asking them to find that data, because obviously the city is just working on different things, and then as far as I know, just phasing in the new normal, if you will. So before I was going to approach them, I was going to try and see if I could find anything that was updated from the 2013 information that I got. I did not find anything specifically for Ann Arbor, so I will be reaching out to the city about that, and then seeing if they will get back with me in terms of the crash test data, and just seeing where we can go from there and how we can look at those figures, what that displays, and then from then on just moving forward and kind of drafting our response to that particular law in terms of the crosswalk. So as far as that, I'm still getting the information, and I should have an update for you guys at the next meeting, which will be in September. So Moving on to, I did want to point out that with Sally leaving as of the last meeting, we do have an opening for a vice chairperson. And so I did express some interest in people sending me an email if they were interested in being the vice chairman and sort of describing how they would fit in that role and what would encourage them to want to be the vice chairman. However, I didn't receive any names or any interest through email. So I wanted to just bring this up and say that I'm comfortable with selecting an interim vice chair for the duration until November, at which time we can then go through and see again if there's anyone interested in being the vice chairman, and then we can elect them, and then they can be the vice chair for the full term. But the reason I'm pushing you guys for a vice chairman or interim vice chair is because, you know, we're a team here, and I really enjoy being able to work with all of you, and I really enjoy the perspectives that all of you give. I think without that, the commission doesn't serve its full purpose, and I want to be able, as chairman, to accept your visions and accept your feedback as best as I can. So without an interim chair, without a vice chair, I think it's very challenging to do so, because of course I can get your feedback as commissioners, but as an interim vice chair, as a vice chairman, I would like to work very closely with whomever that is so that I can speak with you on a regular basis and sort of bounce ideas off you and be able to also sort of keep track of the things that we have kind of on our radar and on our agenda to keep things moving forward. So I'd like to just open it up to first ask, is anyone interested in being an interim vice chair at this time to sort of, you know, help us the rest of the way until the terms are up? And if you are, please speak up at this time. Or if you don't feel comfortable with speaking up, that's fine. Feel free to send me an email. But I just wanted to leave it open for discussion for a couple of minutes. Is there anybody that's interested in being an interim vice chair?
Hey, Zach, this is Larry. And if need be, I'd do it, unless somebody else wants to.
Okay. Is there anybody else open or willing to be interim chair or have an interest in that? I want to encourage you guys that, you know, I don't want you to be, I guess, intimidated by the title or anything. You know, I would do my best to, you know, facilitate communication and make sure that, you know, we were on the same page. Again, the biggest thing is I think that all of us, or, you know, people in positions of leadership work better together rather than on their own. So that's really, I think, the biggest reason, is because I think there are some great detail-oriented minds on this commission, and I just want to be able to fully, you know, use that to the commission's advantage. So thank you, Larry, for your interest. And I just want to close out by saying, if there's anybody else that is interested after this meeting, email me or give me a call or text me or get in touch with me some way if you are interested, and we can discuss it further. And Larry, I will be in touch with you after this meeting to discuss that further, okay?
Sure.
Awesome. All right. The other thing I wanted to just bring to your attention, guys, that my term as chairman is actually going to be up on May 31st, 2021. I am fully capable and willing to be chairman for another term. And I just wanted to let you know that we will be doing that election in November. So once you know, that time comes, we'll be able to do it at the November meeting, and I'll bring it back up. But I just wanted to let you know that, you know, that's when my term will be ending in 2021, and I'm happy to continue as chairman. And please, you guys, I encourage the commission, you know, if there are things that you think that I can do to be a better leader or be a better chairman for all of you, or improve communication, please don't hesitate to bring that up. You know, I want to make sure that I'm doing the best job that we can. I want to make sure that we're a valued voice, you know, within the boards and commissions. I want to make sure that we're proud of the work that we're doing, and that city council and that the mayor can also know that we are doing good work, and that what they're doing to provide resources for us, you know, is sufficient, and that's well deserved. So please don't hesitate that. I welcome instructive criticism. And again, you know, it's a pleasure to work with them. I'm happy to continue. That's all I have for the chair report at this time. If there's anything else, I will communicate that to you through email. But thank you very much.
And Zach, this Larry again.
Sure.
I is it 1 or 2 terms you can have as chair before you have to back down for a session? Because I think the bylaws say that after either 1 or 2 terms you have to back down, and then they have to switch whatever. I'm not sure
Okay.
how many terms you can be chair. I mean, I wouldn't care either way, but I think it's under the bylaws that it's either 1 or 2 terms. I'll have to look it up. So
Yeah,
we'll can discuss that in the September meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I wouldn't care either way, but
What's that, Larry? Go ahead.
I said I wouldn't care either way, but the bylaws might say something different.
Sure. That's a great question. To the best of my knowledge, I think that's like the 2 terms is the limit. But I will go back and look at the bylaws specifically to make sure that
Yeah.
I'm exactly familiar with that. But I think it is the 2 terms.
Hey, Zach,
Go ahead.
it's 2.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Corey.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Corey. I didn't have the Braille copy in front of me.
Yeah, no worries.
But, and again, I just want to make sure, guys, that I'm as fair as possible in terms of just the process and everything, because of course, all of you guys are great assets, and I just want to make sure that everyone is given a fair chance and given a fair opportunity to do what they'd like to do on the commission. So, okay. All right. So moving forward, I'd like to move on to the Community Engagement Committee and the Ann Arbor Inclusive update. Rachel Hawkins.
Hi, it's Rachel speaking. So I am happy to tell you that we have an upcoming episode this Friday, June 19th. It's with the Artisan Corner. We will also have Dr. Okalami will be airing on July 17th coming up. I've also been in contact with Linda and Melissa Bondi. There's been some discussion about the closed captioning for Ann Arbor Inclusive and those costs. So I think Zach has that on the agenda for us to discuss as well. But that's the main thing right now. Our meetings have all been canceled because of COVID, like a lot of the meetings have. So.
Yeah, and I'll just address that now. The main question that was posed to me was if the city was going to continue to, pay for closed captioning with Ann Arbor Inclusive episodes at this point, or if because they were doing it through YouTube and Zoom, or if that was needed or not. And I did tell Linda that I would double check on that, and I wanted to run that by you, Elizabeth. I wasn't sure because I know that Zoom has closed captioning options, and I know that YouTube does as well. And so my initial answer to that, but I didn't necessarily say was, well, I don't think it's necessarily needed if the programs that you are using has closed captioning. But at the same time, if what we're doing works better than that, then of course, hopefully the city would continue to pay for the closed captioning services for exclusive episodes. I don't know who to reach out to about that. Maybe Lisa Wandrosh, the communications specialist.
It could be her, or it could be Kelly Beatty is another person. He's in the clerk's office with he represents boards and commission. He's like oversees boards and commissions.
Okay.
I think those are your first thought. Lisa Wandrosh is a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that would be good.
All right. I will. What I will do on this point, Rachel and Elizabeth, is I will send an email with that question to addressing that in terms of the closed captioning services and Zoom and YouTube and Ann Arbor inclusive, and whether that'll be something that'll continue. Because as of right now, CTN did give me a timeline of when they would open, which they did say was going to be sometime in July, but they did not give me a specific date. So as of right now, the studios are still closed, from physical production. So all the Ann Arbor inclusive productions, of course, are going to be done remotely. So I will follow up on that, Rachel and Elizabeth, and of course I'll include Linda in that communication. And I will contact Lisa first, and then also reach out to Kelly if I don't hear directly from Lisa.
Thank you, Zach.
No problem. Thank you. All right. So there's that. All right. So next, we have the Partners in Access Committee and Larry Keeler.
We did nothing. We're
Okay.
well, we did nothing because the COVID thing is going on, and we still have to get an agenda. And Denise had issues with setting up the Zoom, so I just went, okay, we'll just wait till September. But I'm hoping to get together with Debbie and Alex over the next 2 months and look at some of our stuff and reorganize the committee.
Okay.
So, because I think Alex was interested in that, weren't you, Alex?
Yeah, I would still be interested in participating on that.
Okay, yeah, because I think the three of us should get together over the summer, at least on the phone or something, and set an agenda so we can get it going in September.
Okay. Great. All right. Well, thank you for the Partners in Access Committee report, Larry. And you're not done yet because now we have recruiting activity. And I just wanted to point out to you and Elizabeth that Corey and I spoke before the meeting started a little bit, and we do now have 2 spots open on the commission. I just want to put that on record. So we can also talk about that moving forward in terms of looking at the other applications that are either have been submitted or that will be.
It's been a while since Larry and I had that conversation. But I do know that we had, Larry probably will help me remember, it was, there were names of people who looked to be graduate students, or they self-identified as graduate students. And so.
I think there were 5, weren't there?
Yeah, yes, but in the category of like somebody who looked like a student, there wasn't 5, I don't think. But I think we did find 5 names. Yeah,
Okay.
we had like 5 people that was like, well, they applied a while ago, so we would have to reach out and see if they were still interested. And there were, yeah, we had some good, we had whittled it down to 5. Larry, you and I should get together. Like you could just come to my backyard if you want. I'm just off Stadium, or I could go to your house too.
Oh, really? Well, Thursday's still the best day for you? I'll
Thursday?
text you. How about next Thursday? How about next
We'll
Thursday?
figure it. Well, you and I will email offline. We'll figure it out. My schedule's a little wacky.
Yeah, we can
different
do that
I'm in-
because, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, because we got to do that soon. So I'm thinking next Thursday maybe. We'll
Okay.
see.
Sure. Awesome, guys.
Other than
Well,
that,
thank-
I've got no other interest in. I've not gotten any interest in any applications from people. So I do
Okay.
talk about the commission to various people, but of course I've been talking to a lot of them as of late.
Sure. Well, thank you
Being
both.
all up in the
Larry.
house.
Go ahead.
I said being up in the house. I haven't been able. Yeah.
No
So
problem.
there it is.
Okay. Well, thank you. No problem. And thank you, Larry and Elizabeth, for your work on that. And please, both of you, just keep me in the loop with how that goes.
Sure.
Thank you. All right. Next on the agenda, we have the Transportation Commission update. Mr. Tim Hall.
Hi, yeah, we met, last month and over Zoom and discussed, the big topic we discussed is the city's like Healthy Streets initiative and the idea of like, some streets local traffic only to allow more like pedestrian social distancing. And there's also been things discussed like about, I know they've started closing streets downtown for dining purposes like over the weekend. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing going on right now. I mean, there's another meeting this tonight. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, there were some more presentations about like more long-term things, but yeah, I mean, the agenda is attached, so it's always tricky because this meeting is like the longest, like the next meeting of the Transportation Commission is after this meeting, so.
Commissioner Hall, I got two questions for you.
Yeah.
This is Larry, of course. Did you guys discuss the fact that RideCorps lost the A-Ride contract?
I did not hear anything about that.
They didn't bring it up there. Okay, well, probably this month. And the other thing is, did any of the micromobility stuff come through? Was anything brought up about the micromobility?
Last I heard, they were still waiting on legal, but I don't know if
that doesn't surprise me.
Well, council just renewed the contract with the scooter company, didn't we?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear from I hadn't heard about the A-Ride contract not being renewed. Has there been any news as to like, did they pick a different company or is it just that they're looking for a new one?
I hear it's supposed to be in-house, but I haven't, we haven't had LAC meetings and that sort of thing. So the kind of stuff I've heard is not good enough to mention, but they did lose the contract.
Okay.
And I thought they might have brought that up in the transportation.
I might bring that up, and also I'd like to hear more from AAATA because they severely decreased their service during the stay-at-home order, but now it looks like they're not really going to increase it except for park and ride only services. And the only thing that's been added back since the stay-at-home order. And I guess
yeah, I can't.
I'm kind. What'd you say?
I can't tell you anything because our LAC hasn't met or gotten any information.
Yeah, I was
on it.
They should bring that up. Hopefully, I mean, I wonder if our AAA rep will be on the call because I'd like to hear more about that. I'm kind of perplexed as to why park and ride is the first thing they bring back because it seems like those people are the people who have more of a choice. And right now, service is ending like Sunday schedule has always been pretty limited, and it's ending like that's what they're running every day, and they're not. And so far, they haven't made any plans to restore additional service until the end of August, which is when students would be coming back anyway.
Well, if they mention anything like that in your meeting,
all right.
You could email me or call me or whatever.
Okay.
Great.
Well, thank you. and we can let everybody else know if we can.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I'd like to speak with regards to the questions that you guys were discussing in Ann Arbor Transportation Authority. Specifically bringing things back up online slowly. I cannot speak directly to what the impetus was in terms of why they, in my mind, the reason they probably started sending back up the park and rides is because other services are starting to come back up online. We're getting, I believe, is U of M may have started their buses back up again. I'm not sure, but it's just a slow.
I've seen them. I've seen them, Kathleen, so they may have.
Effort. Nothing can be done quickly. We need to be mindful. We don't even know if the students are coming back yet. We don't know what is going to happen. So things do have to be transitioned in slowly. And I know any concerns that the public has, I urge them to contact the ride with their concerns. What was the other thing you guys were discussing?
The A-Ride contract.
Okay,
Yeah,
the A-Ride contract with Paratransit.
Yeah.
So if you look at the board meeting packets that are available online to the public, I believe Mr. Carpenter did announce that services would be coming back in-house as of August. And then it's just going to be a wait and see. You know, COVID has affected everyone in a myriad of ways, and it has also affected the Transportation Authority. It is not a for-profit agency. It's a nonprofit agency. It works for the municipalities of Ann Arbor, Ypsi, and Ypsilanti Township, and they need to be very mindful of how they bring everything back up online. And I know that they're doing their best efforts to be very good stewards, but I think that they are also really open to getting public feedback and input about what it is that the public wants and needs at this time. So
yeah, I'm just my concern isn't that they should bring back the full schedule now. My concern is that the one thing they bring back is park and ride, which, and meanwhile they're ending bus service before sunset 7 days a week. And like starting at, at 7 p.m. While businesses are open. And I mean, right now we got restaurants open and people need to get to work and people want to and I'm like, I don't drive. And now it's like, I pretty much have to take an Uber anywhere because the schedule is so, I mean, if I want to go anywhere and it's just, that's my concern, is that I could have seen if they had increased to a Saturday schedule, like the routes or something like that, and had it running later. That would have seemed more reasonable than putting out the first service you restore is something that for people who can drive.
I understand your concern, and if you feel very strongly about it, Tim, then I would push it on and definitely give that feedback to the ride. You know what I'm saying? Entities can't know what people are thinking unless it's shared with them directly. You know what I'm saying? So whether or not, you may not be the first person to bring this their attention. You know what I'm saying? So I would strongly urge you to go forward with your concerns to them.
I agree with you, Kathleen. Tim, I think you bring up some interesting points in terms of, some issues with public transit. So I would encourage you to reach out to them as well.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it for the Transportation Commission, Tim?
I actually have a question for Tim.
Yes. Is this you,
In
Kathleen?
the minutes, it talked about somebody from the DDA gave a presentation. Linda.
That video all froze.
I think we might have some technical difficulties with Kathleen. Are you
She
there,
started to say
Kathleen?
Linda. I wonder if she was saying Linda Diane Felt. Is that right? Is that?
That's someone from the DDA.
Oh, whoops. Linda something.
Okay. Kathleen, are you there? All right. Well, hopefully, hopefully she can log back in before we adjourn. But Kathleen, if you can hear us, I would direct that question to Tim directly, maybe through email, if you can hear us. If not, we hope to have you back in the meeting very soon. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. All right. Is there anything else, Tim, or?
No.
Okay. All right. So that's it for the Transportation Commission. We did have Kathleen up next on the agenda for the Council for Disability Concerns meeting update. Corey, you did send out the meeting minutes for the last Council.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, so we do have those. I guess what I would say is, if Kathleen joins before the meeting is out, I will circle back and have her address those minutes. But guys, I would say this: if you do have them online, I would review them, and then if you do have any questions, I would shoot them to Kathleen about the Council for Disability Concerns. And if you have questions, I'm hoping she'd be willing to address them with you.
Yeah, I see Kathleen's video is back on.
I'm
think
back.
I know what she's
Oh,
talking
great.
about.
Okay.
Hold up the agenda. So what were you asking about in particular? Because now I'm remembering that presentation. I forgot about it.
So I was trying to look it up and I accidentally disconnected myself, but under the minute notes, under Diane Felt, under her presentation, it says that it will coordinate with the Council for Disability Issues, or Commission on Disability Issues. And I didn't know what that meant. What would they be coordinating?
So they're talking about the DDA parking management and things they're going to do, and they're trying to decide they may do something different as far as the ADA parking spots. Like right now, they're talking about where they should be because they're not really managed in a coherent manner, and they're thinking about putting them at a certain spot on a certain street, but they still haven't decided what they're going to do. And when they're getting closer to making decisions, they would coordinate with the Commission on Disability Issues.
And good. Sorry, Kathleen, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I appreciate you clarifying that, because when I saw the commission noted publicly there, but I hadn't seen anything on our agenda, it just sort of gave me pause.
Yeah.
And Tim, if you do hear anything, just piggybacking off of what you and Kathleen were discussing, if you both do hear anything from the DDA about those spaces or about their plans for relocating those specific spaces, if they could, if we could somehow get a hold of them in the time frame when they're drafting that, so we could see their plan as to where they're going to be putting those spaces, or how that's going to work. And if they could present at a meeting, I think that would be great.
Yeah.
All right. And Kathleen, you are actually next up on the agenda, so I was glad that you were able to reconnect. We did get a copy of the Council for Disability Concerns meeting minutes, but I was just going to have you talk a couple of minutes if you could.
Yes, I would. And thank you for being patient with me. So
Sure.
Our last council meeting minutes that I have are from April. I do not have May's yet. And in April, just like everyone else, we had to scramble and figure things out, and we transitioned to Zoom, and CART is available, closed captioning. So that is wonderful. Everyone is welcome. The next meeting will be held Tuesday, July 14th at noon. I'm not sure. It probably will be Zoom still, unless things change significantly between now and then. So if you're interested, I would say go to the Council for Disability Concerns online at U of M, and you can get more information there. One of the most important things that's been going on is we've been putting together a resource guide, if you will, for COVID and persons with disabilities. And it's open to anyone to look at. It's a living document. It's being constantly updated. There's all kinds of wonderful information. And if anyone is interested, it can be found at cfdc@umich.edu. When you get to that part of the website, you click on projects, and under projects, it lists COVID-19 responses by and for the disability community. It's a wonderful document. It has so many surprising things in there, and that it's just for everybody, not just for persons who are disabled. I think it's wonderful. The other thing that we discussed, there are some new accessibility resources that we have online, and it's at accessibility.umich.edu. And it's for remote learning. They're trying to add decision tree tools to help support deciding which platforms to use, which meeting types need ASL, need CART devices, that sort of thing. So that's another website, and that's available to anyone. And that's everything that we had for that meeting. Thank you.
Wow. Awesome news, Kathleen, about the COVID-19 response. I'm definitely interested in that, and I'm going to check that out, definitely. So great work there, and thank you for the information. All right. Moving on to announcements. Does anybody have any announcements at this time that they'd like to make? Okay. All right, then moving forward, we can move to new business. And I did talk about the need for the interim vice chair for the commission. So that was talked about earlier in my report. The next thing I'd like to address is meetings in person, or whether we're going to be Zooming in September. And of course, Corey and I did talk a little bit about that before the meeting. Corey, am I correct again in saying that it's likely that in September we will be meeting again in person, or is that optional? How is that going to work?
Unfortunately, unclear at the moment. Just all depend on if the governor extends her executive order again. That would allow meetings to take place electronically. Okay.
And Elizabeth, do you mind if I ask, as far as city council, are you guys still meeting electronically then, or have you been meeting in person?
No, we're still meeting electronically.
Okay.
And we're doing it through July for sure. We're, I think we're taking it kind of month by month.
Right.
Yeah, that's my understanding. And like I said earlier, the city is acknowledging that these electronic meetings are, like, for some people it's way easier to participate. Right. For some people it's not. And so, yeah, we are really just sort of like, as we go, I guess we're figuring it out.
Okay. My next question, Corey, sorry, just one more question. I know that in the previous meeting last month, you had mentioned that the Zoom for the city is possibly going to expire June 30th. So is there a possibility that that capability for the city is going to be extended? How does that work?
So we won't lose our account, but just all depends on, so the Open Meetings Act wouldn't allow us to have this meeting if this executive order isn't extended. But if it is extended though, we will have that option for Zoom, and the city clerk's office should keep the staff liaisons up to date on the extension for that option as well. So we'll be able to pass that along to you guys as well, so you'll know if that's an option, and if that's what you'd want to do for September.
Sure. Yeah, thank you, Corey. I do appreciate that. And yeah, if anybody does hear anything or has updates, please keep me informed. Because of course, we also, want to be safe, and, vigilant and, keeping everyone healthy. So, I'm, as a commission, I think we should also take this, month by month, meeting by meeting, just kind of see how everybody feels, and then kind of go from there. So, yeah, we'll see what the governor has to say, and of course, if she does extend that, then we can probably meet, on here again in September, and of course, if not, then maybe an alternative would be to, have us all do an individual Zoom. To my knowledge, it doesn't, I don't know if that's possible for most, but we can also, discuss that pending what the governor has to say.
Uh-huh.
All right. All righty. So that is all that we have on the agenda. So at 5:08, I'd like to adjourn this meeting. If there is anything pressing, or if there's anything that comes up between now and then, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will do my best to be diligent in getting back with all of you. I want to just again extend my appreciation for your willingness to meet through Zoom during this time. Thank you to all of your efforts, and I'm glad to see that all of you are staying safe and healthy. So thank you very much.
You need somebody to move that adjournment?
Do I need somebody to move the adjournment?
Yeah, you need somebody to move in second.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I move to adjourn the meeting then. Larry would.
Well, I'll second. I was going to move it, but hey.
Okay. Well, I'll move to adjourn the meeting. Is there anyone that would like to second the adjournment?
I'll do it.
Okay,
I'll
Larry.
second it.
And again, thank you, everyone. And I'm glad that you guys are staying safe and healthy. We have beautiful weather, so hopefully you guys can have an opportunity to enjoy that. But stay healthy, sending you all good vibes, and thank you very much.